Welcome back to Talk Smack with Mac. In this segment, we're going to be talking a 2021-2022 season outlook for the Super Bowl defending champions Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Are you ready? Let's talk smack.
Now, last season, the Buccaneers went 11-5, and they caught fire towards the end of the year. And as we all know, we know what happened after that. They got on a roll in the playoffs. They beat the Saints. They beat the Packers. They beat the Washington football team. And then they went on to beat the hell out of the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Now, the Buccaneers are the only defending Super Bowl team in NFL history to bring all 22 starters back on 11 on offense, 11 on defense ever. You know, this is big, with Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett coming off the edge, a healthy season from Vita Vea. That defense looks absolutely amazing, and they could be even better than they were last year. And then, of course, with all the news coming out that Tom Brady played the entire season with the torn MCL, which is pretty freaking incredible, I'm only expecting better things from him. With the offseason, all of these players are getting healthier. O.J. Howard, he tore his Achilles last year, so I want to see what he's going to do this upcoming season. But I'm pretty excited. Now, in the draft, the Buccaneers were taking best player available. They didn't really have too many needs on either side of the ball. One of the biggest needs, in my opinion, was a kick returner and punt returner. The Buccaneers' return special teams were absolutely horrendous last year. It was definitely one of the few bad spots on this team. It really put them in a hole throughout the season. A few position battles and players that I want to mention that I want to pay attention to this training camp is the backfield. Ronald Jones, he was looking pretty damn good running the ball last year. I think he averaged around 5 yards per carry. And with the Buccaneers picking up Leonard Fournette, it was obviously going to be a battle in the backfield for carries. Ronald Jones' biggest downfall is his pass protection and his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. As we all know, for the last decade plus, Tom Brady has made a living throwing to his running backs. And without Ronald Jones having reliable hands, we're not really going to see him too much on third downs. Going into training camp in this offseason, I want to see if Ronald Jones can improve on that in that area that he lacks in. I would actually love to see Ronald Jones maybe taking some snaps at wide receiver in training camp. Now, I know you're like, what the hell, wide receiver? We got plenty of those, and he plays running back. Well, we all know this guy could run. But if we line him up in the slot position or out wide and have him just running some routes constantly day in and day out, maybe that would help him gain confidence in catching the ball. Because if Ronald Jones can showcase that he can catch the ball and be a reliable pass catcher out of that backfield, he can be a third down back and, stay on the field throughout the entire game. But if he doesn't, it's going to be interesting to see how much of the workload goes to Leonard Fournette. I'm expecting to see lightning and thunder coming out of that backfield. Sometimes we're going to get a heavy workhorse from Ronald Jones, and then other times it could go to Leonard Fournette. So it's going to be interesting to see how that position battle at the running back position goes throughout training camp. Another guy I want to mention who I'm excited to see this training camp and offseason, as I mentioned before, is the big man in the middle, people, Vita Vea. This dude obviously makes this defense that much better when he's in his game. This dude is absolutely a mammoth of a man, and he demands a double, if not a triple team at that nose guard, nose tackle position on the defensive side of the ball. And when he's in the game and you have 2 or 3 people on him, what's that going to do? It's going to free up the edge for Shaq Barrett and JPP to do their thing. When Vita Vea is in the game, that is going to lead to one-on-one battles on the outside with the left and right tackle versus JPP and Shaq Barrett. And we already know what those guys are going to do if they are only getting blocked by one person. Is barbecue chicken, people. Shaq Barrett is trying to become Defensive Player of the Year and even MVP. This dude has been talking a lot of shit in the offseason, and we all know he could back it up. And a big key to him backing that up is getting single coverage. And that's why we need Vita Vea to stay healthy and do what he can do. Now, before he had that horrific ankle injury last year, he showed that he could get to the quarterback pretty damn well. He had like 12 quarterback hits. That was the most in any season that he's been in the NFL. So hopefully this big guy could stay healthy and showcase his true talents as a pass rusher, because we already know when it comes to stopping the run, there's not really too many people in the business that could do it better. Another guy that I mentioned earlier that I want to see this season put it together is O.J. Howard. Coming out of Alabama and getting drafted in the first round by the Buccaneers, there was a lot of high hopes for this guy. He showcased that he could run block and pass block very well coming out of Alabama and playing for Nick Saban. But this dude is a freak athlete. He's like 250 pounds. He can run a 4.5. He averaged over 15 yards per catch at the tight end position, which is absolutely fantastic. And when you pair him with Rob Gronkowski playing the two tight end set, this Buccaneers offense looks damn near unstoppable. But health is what's been holding O.J. Howard back. This dude is constantly picking up injuries, getting hurt every season, and has been slowing down his production at the tight end position. I want to see if he could stay healthy, if he could get some damn passes thrown his way in this Bruce Arians system. We know Bruce Arians doesn't like to throw it to the tight ends that much, but when you have Rob Gronkowski and you have O.J. Howard at the tight end positions, you throw him the damn ball. So health. That's what I'm preaching this year for O.J. Howard, because I'm a big fan of his. I still have a lot of faith in this guy that he could put it together. We just need to see him consistently on the damn field. The next guy I want to talk about coming into training camp is on the other side of the ball, the cornerback position, Sean Murphy-Bunting. This dude has all the talent in the world, and playing opposite side of Carlton Davis, he could be a cornerstone on this Tampa Bay defense. He kind of has, I'm not going to put the standard too high on him, but he plays like a Rondé Barber-esque type role. He could line up in the slot. He could line up on the outside. He has showcased so much talent and a knack for taking the ball away on defense. We've seen in the playoffs, I think he had like 3 or 4 interceptions. So this guy can be a ball hawk. I want to see his improvements going into next season, and if he could be more of a consistent force on this defense. As for the upcoming season, if everybody can stay healthy, we already seen what Tom Brady did basically on one leg. He had a torn MCL the entire season, and this dude still showed out. And if we all know, if you look back at Bruce Arians' past, quarterbacks in this system absolutely kill it in year 2. Look at Carson Palmer. He put up an MVP-esque season. All the other quarterbacks that played for Bruce Arians in the past absolutely crushed it in year 2. It takes time to learn how to play in this no risk it, no biscuit system of Bruce Arians, but it's going to be interesting. You know, the camaraderie that Tom Brady is going to have with his receivers, mainly Mike Evans. Mike Evans put up like 13 touchdowns last year, but he barely crossed the 1,000-yard mark. When you have so much talent on offense, there's only one ball that could be thrown around. But there was many times when Mike Evans and Tom Brady seemed like they weren't on the same page. Now, with another offseason, or with a non-pandemic offseason for the Buccaneers, I expect those chemistry issues between our star receiver Mike Evans and Tom Brady to be fixed. I can see Mike Evans putting up some crazy numbers this year, people. Double-digit touchdowns in the teens again. He might even get up to 15, 16, 17 touchdowns. Who knows? Tom Brady loves to throw this guy the ball. It doesn't really matter who's throwing the damn ball to Mike Evans. He's going to absolutely crush it. But with that being said, we look at this division, the NFC South. Drew Brees is gone, but you cannot count out the Saints. And then, of course, you have the Falcons and you have the Panthers. But I'm expecting the Buccaneers to come out and win this division. I'm expecting like a 12-4 or 13-3 season. You know, and going back into the playoffs, the Buccaneers are looking to run it back and Tom Brady to win his 25th Super Bowl, people. But this Buccaneers team is looking very strong. You know, barring any injury setbacks, this can be a very magical season for the Buccaneers, and I cannot wait to see it getting started. I feel like it's championship or bust again for these guys. We all know how hard it is To win back-to-back Super Bowls, it takes one hell of an effort from the entire team, complementary football from all three sides, special teams, defense, and offense. But if anybody could get it done, it is Tom Brady. So let's find out. You guys let me know in the comments what you think about the Buccaneers coming up this year. And if you think if what I'm saying, if I'm full of shit or if I've been talking good shit, you guys let me know.